Have you ever met a Capricorn and felt like they were distant, overly serious, or even impossible to understand? Maybe you've heard people say Capricorns are cold, calculating, or too focused on success. But is that really the truth, or just a misunderstood perspective? Today, we're going to uncover the real reason why Capricorn is often labeled as the most disliked zodiac sign. But I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll see them in a completely different light. Capricorns are ruled by Saturn, the planet of discipline, responsibility, and structure. This gives them an intense focus on long-term goals, making them some of the most determined individuals in the zodiac. But this same drive often makes them seem unapproachable, emotionally distant, or even ruthless. The truth is, Capricorns are not heartless, they simply express emotions differently. Their loyalty runs deep, their ambitions are unwavering, and their way of loving is through action rather than words. So why do so many people misunderstand them? Is it their intense work ethic? Their high standards? Or is it simply because they don't conform to the expectations of others? In this video, we'll explore the 10 biggest reasons why Capricorns are often seen as difficult, and how these very traits, when understood correctly, can be their greatest strengths. If you've ever struggled to connect with a Capricorn, or if you are one yourself, this video will give you a whole new perspective. And if you're curious to dive deeper into astrology and self-discovery, make sure to subscribe to Zen Mind Peaceful Life. Now, let's begin. 1. They seem cold, but they feel deeply. At first glance, Capricorns may appear emotionally distant, reserved, or even indifferent. They rarely wear their hearts on their sleeves, and their reactions can seem controlled, almost detached. But beneath this exterior lies a deeply emotional and sensitive soul. Astrological insight: Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet of discipline and restraint. This influence makes them cautious about expressing their emotions, fearing vulnerability or appearing weak. Psychological perspective: many Capricorns have grown up believing that emotions should be controlled rather than freely expressed. They often associate emotional outbursts with instability and prefer to process their feelings privately. How to apply this in life: if you're close to a Capricorn, don't mistake their silence for indifference. They care deeply but show it through actions rather than words. If you're a Capricorn, remember that expressing emotions doesn't make you weak, it makes you more relatable and approachable. 2. Their ambition can be misinterpreted as ruthlessness. Capricorns are known for their relentless pursuit of success. They set high goals and do whatever it takes to achieve them, which can sometimes make them seem cold, overly serious, or even opportunistic. Astrological insight: Saturn's influence makes them highly disciplined, goal-oriented, and willing to sacrifice short-term pleasures for long-term success. They are naturally wired to think strategically about their future. Psychological perspective: people who prioritize personal relationships over career growth may see Capricorns as too focused on work, sometimes even labeling them as selfish or materialistic. However, for Capricorn, security and stability are forms of love. When they work hard, they are also working to provide for themselves and their loved ones. How to apply this in life: instead of seeing Capricorn's ambition as a lack of care for relationships, understand that their success-driven mindset is how they express their love. If you are a Capricorn, remember to balance work with meaningful personal connections to avoid misunderstandings. 3. They take time to trust, which can make them appear distant. Capricorns don't open up easily. They are cautious with their emotions and don't rush into friendships or relationships. While this is a form of self-protection, it can make them seem uninterested or cold. Astrological insight: as an earth sign, Capricorn values stability and longevity in relationships. They don't trust easily, but once they do, their loyalty is unwavering. Psychological perspective: many Capricorns have experienced situations where being too open or trusting has backfired. Over time, they learn to guard their emotions until they are sure someone is trustworthy. How to apply this in life: if you have a Capricorn friend or partner, give them time. Their trust is not easily won, but once you have it, you will have a lifelong supporter. If you're a Capricorn, try expressing your appreciation more openly so others don't misinterpret your reserved nature. 4. Their need for control can seem overbearing. Capricorns thrive on structure, order, and discipline. They like things to be done a certain way and often take charge in group situations. While this can be a strength, it can also make them seem controlling or inflexible. Astrological insight: Saturn's disciplined energy gives Capricorn a strong sense of responsibility. They feel a duty to ensure things are done correctly, which sometimes makes them micromanage situations. Psychological perspective: for Capricorns, control equals security. They believe that if they plan everything carefully, they can avoid unnecessary problems. However, to others, this can feel restrictive or overly rigid. How to apply this in life: if you're dealing with a Capricorn, try understanding that their need for control is not about dominating others, it's about creating a stable environment. If you are a Capricorn, practice letting go and trusting others more. Sometimes, spontaneity can lead to great results. 5. They can seem selfish, but they are just practical. Capricorns are extremely practical and efficient with their time and energy. They don't engage in unnecessary drama, and they rarely do things that don't serve a clear purpose. This can sometimes make them seem self-serving or uncaring. Astrological insight: Capricorns have a strong survival instinct. Their ruling planet, Saturn, teaches them to be resourceful and strategic in all aspects of life. Psychological perspective: Capricorns often believe in energy investment. If something or someone is not adding value to their life, they will distance themselves. This is not because they don't care, but because they prioritize efficiency. How to apply this in life: if a Capricorn seems uninterested in small talk or casual socializing, don't take it personally. They simply prefer deep, meaningful connections. If you are a Capricorn, remember that life is not just about productivity. Taking time to relax and connect with others is equally important. 6. They hold grudges, but only when necessary. Capricorns have a long memory when it comes to betrayal or disrespect. Unlike other signs that forgive easily, Capricorns take their time to process a situation before deciding if someone deserves a second chance. Astrological insight: Saturn, Capricorn's ruling planet, governs karma, life lessons, and responsibility. This means Capricorns take every interaction seriously and rarely forget when someone has wronged them. Psychological perspective: Capricorns see relationships as investments. If they feel someone has violated their trust, they will distance themselves rather than waste time on someone who doesn't value their presence. How to apply this in life: if you've hurt a Capricorn, a simple apology won't always be enough. You need to show through actions that you are trustworthy. If you are a Capricorn, remember that holding on to resentment can block new opportunities for growth and connection. 7. They prefer logic over emotion, which can seem insensitive. Capricorns are highly rational thinkers who approach life with a practical mindset. While this helps them solve problems effectively, it can make them appear emotionally detached or dismissive of other people's feelings. Astrological insight: Capricorn is an earth sign, which means they are grounded in reality. They don't make decisions based on fleeting emotions, but rather on logic and long-term consequences. Psychological perspective: many Capricorns have learned that emotions can cloud judgment, so they rely on facts and experience when making choices. While this makes them great decision makers, it can sometimes make them seem cold or lacking empathy. How to apply this in life: if a Capricorn gives you advice that seems blunt, remember that they are not trying to hurt you, they are simply giving you the most practical solution. If you're a Capricorn, try balancing logic with emotional intelligence so that people feel heard and understood. 8. Their perfectionism can make them seem too critical. Capricorns hold themselves and others to very high standards. They strive for excellence in everything they do, which can sometimes make them seem overly critical or difficult to please. Astrological insight: Saturn's energy pushes Capricorns to always aim for mastery. They have an inner drive to perfect their craft and expect the same level of dedication from those around them. Psychological perspective: Capricorns believe that constructive criticism helps people grow. However, those who are more emotionally sensitive may see this as judgment rather than motivation. How to apply this in life: If a Capricorn gives you feedback, don't take it personally, they genuinely want to help you improve. If you are a Capricorn, be mindful of your tone and timing when offering criticism to avoid unintentionally discouraging others. 9. They struggle to express love in conventional ways. Capricorns are deeply romantic and loyal partners, but their way of expressing love is often subtle. Instead of grand gestures, they prefer practical actions that show their commitment. Astrological insight: Capricorns belong to the element of Earth, making them more action-oriented than expressive. They believe love is shown through reliability, support, and long-term commitment rather than constant verbal affirmations. Psychological perspective: In a world where romantic gestures are often seen as a sign of love, Capricorns may struggle to express affection in a way that their partners understand. This can lead to misunderstandings, where they are perceived as emotionally distant. How to apply this in life: If you're in a relationship with a Capricorn, pay attention to their actions rather than their words. If you are a Capricorn, try verbalizing your feelings more often so that your partner feels reassured. 10. They are highly independent, which can make them seem unapproachable. Capricorns are naturally self-sufficient and prefer to rely on themselves rather than depend on others. While this is a strength, it can sometimes make them seem like they don't need anyone. Astrological insight: Saturn instills in Capricorns a strong sense of responsibility, making them believe that they must take care of their own problems rather than asking for help. Psychological perspective: Many Capricorns have learned from a young age that self-reliance is key to success. However, this mindset can sometimes push people away, as they rarely show vulnerability. How to apply this in life: If you're close to a Capricorn, don't mistake their independence for a lack of care. They value deep, meaningful relationships but prefer quality over quantity. If you are a Capricorn, remember that allowing others to support you is not a sign of weakness, but a way to strengthen your connections. 11. They prioritize work over socializing, which can make them seem distant. Capricorns are known for their relentless focus on their careers and long-term goals. While this dedication often leads to success, it can also make them seem distant or uninterested in social interactions. Astrological insight: Saturn, Capricorn's ruling planet, instills a strong sense of duty and discipline, making them prioritize responsibilities over leisure. Psychological perspective: Capricorns see time as a valuable resource. They are selective about how they spend it, often choosing work or self-improvement over casual social gatherings. This can make them seem aloof, but in reality, they simply prefer meaningful interactions over superficial ones. How to apply this in life: If you have a Capricorn friend or partner, don't take it personally if they don't always initiate plans. They appreciate deep, intentional connections rather than constant small talk. If you're a Capricorn, try balancing work with personal relationships to ensure those around you feel valued. 12. They dislike unnecessary drama and emotionally charged situations. Capricorns have little patience for unnecessary drama. They prefer rational discussions over emotional outbursts, which can make them seem unsympathetic or unfeeling. Astrological insight: As an earth sign, Capricorn values stability and practicality. They avoid chaos and seek logical solutions rather than getting caught up in emotions. Psychological perspective: Capricorns often view excessive emotions as distractions from solving real problems. While this makes them excellent problem solvers, it can also make them seem dismissive of people who need emotional support. How to apply this in life: If you're a Capricorn, remember that sometimes people just need to feel heard rather than receive a solution. If you're close to a Capricorn, understand that their calm demeanor doesn't mean they don't care, they simply express concern differently. 13. They can seem materialistic, but they're actually focused on security. Capricorns often seek financial stability and material success, which can make them seem overly concerned with money and status. However, their true motivation is not luxury, but long-term security. Astrological insight: Saturn teaches Capricorns the importance of preparation and long-term planning. This is why they work hard to create a stable future. Psychological perspective: many Capricorns equate financial independence with freedom. They work hard not for the sake of wealth itself, but for the peace of mind that comes with stability. How to apply this in life? Instead of seeing a Capricorn's focus on financial success as materialism, recognize it as their way of ensuring security for themselves and their loved ones. If you're a Capricorn, remember that true wealth includes emotional and relational fulfillment as well. 14. They value tradition and stability, which can make them seem stubborn. Capricorns respect structure, order, and traditions. While this makes them reliable, it can also make them resistant to change or new ways of thinking. Astrological insight: being an earth sign, Capricorn prefers tried-and-true methods over unpredictable risks. They build their lives with caution and strategy rather than impulse. Psychological perspective: Capricorns often associate change with instability. They are not necessarily against innovation but need time to process and analyze before embracing something new. How to apply this in life? If you're working with or in a relationship with a Capricorn, give them time to adjust to change instead of expecting immediate acceptance. If you're a Capricorn, remind yourself that some changes can bring growth and opportunity rather than disruption. 16. They are extremely loyal, but they expect the same in return. One of Capricorn's most defining traits is their deep sense of loyalty. Once they have committed to a friendship, relationship, or even a professional partnership, they will stand by that person through thick and thin. However, this intense level of devotion comes with a condition: they expect the same level of commitment in return. When others don't meet these expectations, Capricorns may withdraw, creating the impression that they are harsh, unforgiving, or emotionally distant. Astrological insight: Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet of discipline and responsibility. This planetary influence gives them a serious approach to relationships, making them selective about who they invest their time and emotions in. Once they choose to let someone into their inner circle, they expect the relationship to be built on mutual trust, respect, and unwavering commitment. Psychological perspective: many Capricorns operate with a long-term mindset. They don't form relationships lightly, and when they do, they expect reliability and loyalty. If they feel betrayed or undervalued, they are unlikely to express their disappointment openly. Instead, they may quietly distance themselves, leaving others confused about what went wrong. How to apply this in life? If you have a Capricorn friend or partner, understand that their high expectations stem from their deep emotional investment. They don't take relationships lightly, and their commitment should be seen as a sign of their sincerity. If you're a Capricorn, remember that not everyone expresses loyalty in the same way. And learning to communicate your expectations openly can prevent misunderstandings. 17. They can seem too serious, but they have a hidden sense of humor. At first glance, Capricorns often come across as overly serious, focused, and all about business. Their disciplined and responsible nature can make them seem like they don't have time for fun. But those who know them well understand that Capricorns actually have a sharp, witty, and sometimes even dark sense of humor. Astrological insight: Saturn's influence makes Capricorns naturally observant and realistic. This allows them to pick up on details that others may miss, which often translates into clever humor. However, because their jokes tend to be subtle, sarcastic, or situational, not everyone immediately recognizes their playful side. Psychological perspective: Capricorns are not the type to seek attention through humor. They don't make loud, exaggerated jokes, and they rarely engage in playful banter with strangers. Instead, their humor is often dry, intellectual, or based on real-life observations. This can make them seem overly serious to those who don't take the time to notice their comedic side. How to apply this in life? If you're around a Capricorn, listen closely to their remarks. You may find that their humor is more present than you initially thought. If you're a Capricorn, allow yourself to relax and share your witty observations more openly. It will help others see your lighter side and make it easier for them to connect with you. 18. They are private people, which can make them seem mysterious. Capricorns value privacy and tend to keep their personal lives well guarded. They don't easily share their thoughts, emotions, or struggles with just anyone. While this makes them seem composed and independent, it can also create a sense of distance that others may misinterpret as secrecy, arrogance, or emotional detachment. Astrological insight: Capricorn is an earth sign, meaning they prioritize security, stability, and control. They believe that keeping certain aspects of their lives private protects them from unnecessary drama or judgment. Unlike more open and expressive signs, Capricorns don't feel the need to share everything about themselves unless they fully trust the person they're speaking to. Psychological perspective: many Capricorns have learned from experience that being too open can sometimes backfire. They may have faced situations where their vulnerabilities were used against them, leading them to adopt a more reserved and selective approach to sharing personal information. How to apply this in life? If you're close to a Capricorn, don't rush them to open up. Instead, create a space of trust and understanding where they feel safe to share when they're ready. If you're a Capricorn, remember that allowing others to see more of your authentic self can deepen your connections and help others appreciate you on a deeper level. 19. They prefer deep conversations over small talk. Capricorns are not fans of idle chatter. They prefer conversations that are meaningful, insightful, and intellectually stimulating. While this makes them excellent discussion partners on topics like philosophy, psychology, business, or self-improvement, it can also make them seem uninterested in lighthearted social interactions. Astrological insight: Saturn's energy gives Capricorns a natural inclination towards serious, structured thinking. They don't engage in conversation just for the sake of talking. They want to gain or share knowledge, solve problems, or discuss ideas that have real value. Psychological perspective: Capricorns often struggle with social norms that require small talk, such as discussing the weather or engaging in polite but shallow conversations. To them, these interactions can feel like a waste of time. However, this can sometimes make them seem detached, unfriendly, or difficult to approach. How to apply this in life? If you want to connect with a Capricorn, try steering the conversation toward topics they find meaningful. Ask for their opinions on something substantial, and you'll see them engage with genuine interest. If you're a Capricorn, remember that small talk, while not intellectually stimulating, is an important part of social bonding. It helps establish comfort before deeper conversations can happen. 20. They have a hard time accepting help. Capricorns are fiercely independent and prefer to handle challenges on their own. While this makes them incredibly strong and self-sufficient, it also means they struggle to ask for or accept help, even when they need it the most. Astrological insight: Saturn's influence gives Capricorns a strong sense of responsibility. They feel that their problems are their own to solve, and relying on others may feel like a sign of weakness. Psychological perspective: many Capricorns have grown up with the mindset that self-reliance is essential for success. They may have learned that asking for help could lead to disappointment, so they would rather struggle in silence than risk feeling let down. How to apply this in life? If you have a Capricorn in your life, let them know that support is available without making them feel pressured. They appreciate help, but they need to accept it on their own terms. If you're a Capricorn, remind yourself that seeking help is not a sign of failure, it's a strength. Even the most capable individuals thrive when they have a strong support system. These 5 additional traits: intense loyalty, hidden humor, privacy, preference for deep conversations, and strong independence further explain why Capricorns are often misunderstood. They may come across as overly serious, distant, or even rigid, but in reality, they are some of the most dedicated, thoughtful, and insightful individuals in the zodiac. Understanding Capricorn's deeper nature allows us to appreciate their strengths rather than misinterpret their behaviors. They are not cold, they are careful. They are not distant, they are selective. They are not unapproachable, they are simply focused on things that truly matter to them. If you're enjoying this deep dive into Capricorn's personality, make sure to subscribe to Zen Mind Peaceful Life for more astrology insights and self-growth content. Stay tuned for the next part, where we'll continue unraveling the mysteries of Capricorn and how they can use their strengths to build fulfilling relationships and a successful life.